Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael LaFido, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael LaFido.
Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Luxury Specialist. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. We're so excited to have you watching or listening to this podcast and live stream. Today we have a special guest, but before we bring them on, just a couple reminders. If you are getting value from this episode or previous episodes, please leave us a like, leave us a review. Again, these guests aren't paid. I'm not paid. We're trying to raise the bar for the industry and bring more value. So again, if you're getting value, please leave us a like, leave us a review. And don't forget our upcoming book, Secrets of Top Luxury Agents. Secrets of Top Luxury Agents is set to launch in April. We're really excited. 25 top luxury agents, actually 22, and then 3 amazing rising stars, inspiring stories. We're going to be giving you the roadmap to break into and sell more homes. We believe it will be a bestseller. Secrets of Top Luxury Agents. You can go to secretsofTopLuxuryAgents.com for more information or to get on the wait list for when the book releases. Additionally, if you want to break into luxury on a $0 marketing budget, we just created an ebook. Ebook, you can simply go to luxurylistingblueprint.com, luxurylistingblueprint.com. And again, you'll hear me talk more about that. We're really excited about that. We put that ebook together. Again, go to luxurylistingblueprint.com. And last but not least, before we bring our guest on, if you're interested in some luxury specials gear, you see me wearing my location shirt. So location, luxury specialist, amongst others, you can go to luxuryspecialistgear.com. All right, today we're going to be talking about 2 major topics today. Number one, we're going to first start off talking about how to get canceled and expired sellers calling you with our guest, Dustin Fox, which I'm bringing on here in a minute. And then we're also going to talk about hyperlocal ads and YouTube and how to position yourself hyperlocally as the expert. So with that being said, I have Dustin Fox in the studio. Dustin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. I've been listening to your podcast and have your book. Been listening to it for like the last 6 years. You've been a huge inspiration for me and my team. So I appreciate everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Feedback is always warranted, good, bad, or indifferent. But I'm glad that you're getting value. And we, as we're filming this, you are the 86th or 88th episode. So thank you. We've been doing it for a long time, and I appreciate you listening. And those of you that are listening and getting value, go back. You can go to iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher, or go to luxurylistingpodcast.com to listen to some previous episodes. And we don't have enough 5-star reviews. We don't have enough reviews. So if you're getting value, leave us a review on iTunes. We'd appreciate that. So the topic for today, we're going to be talking about canceled and expired. And I like starting at the base level for those that are listening and might not know what a canceled and expired listing is. So when a home seller decides to hire an agent, they list the home for sale. It's on realtor.com, it's on homes.com, which is a popular app that's doing all these Super Bowl commercials now. And when that owner and the agent decide to part ways, whether the owner fires the agent or the agent fires the seller, that would be a canceled listing. And then an expired listing is, hey, I'll give you 6 months to sell my home, and it doesn't sell during those 6 months. That's an expired listing. And so for our realtors that are listening, our team leaders, our broker owners, again, there's something for everybody on the show and previous episodes. Talk to us a little bit about what's working today for you with getting canceled and expired sellers, luxury sellers, to give you a call or contact you or respond to a piece. So talk to us about that, please.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of backstory, when I got licensed 8.5 years ago, I was on kind of a Zillow team, buyer lead team, on kind of a traditional 50-50 split. And I was doing really well my first year. I think I had, 14 pending, but like 28, 29 closed that first year. But I could do the math at 50%, and me running around going crazy being a buyer's agent, I was like, look, this is the direction. The first two listings I got was like, this is obviously, listings are where it's at. So I
List
wanted
to
to go
live,
all,
right? List
yes,
to live. And
exactly.
we say a sign in the yard is better than one in the car.
Exactly. So I did what a lot of agents do. I got Vulcan 7, but some agents do Red X. And I was like getting the information. I was looking at the scripts, watching YouTube trainings, watching things. But I really, honestly, Michael, I didn't have the stomach for it. I tried it. I did it multiple days. I'm a bit of a people pleaser and client pleaser, and I could not face the rejection. But I also didn't want to waste my subscription with all of the information that was given to me. So I had read a lot of Dan Kennedy's stuff, a lot of Gary Halbert's stuff, a lot of just a lot of stuff on direct marketing, Ultimate Sales Machine with the Dream 100. So I had all this information, and I said nobody's really putting this together in like all together in a format and mailing to them. Because if I get you on the phone, I might get a couple minutes of your time if the conversation's going really well, but I'm gonna have a hard time getting my entire message across. So Dan Kennedy and Gary Halbert, they call them grabbers or 3D mail. So what my idea was is I was gonna send them. There
I,
you
I,
go.
I send silver platters in the mail. I mean, I'd send this to canceled and expired silver platters. I'd get some people calling me upset. Uh, I've done a lot of work with RedX, Real Estate Data Exchange, but keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote the letters. That's the hardest part. Is like, David Ogilvy likes to say you're advertising to a moving parade, not a standing army. Meaning, like, if you're going to do it in a sequence, you can't expect them to read it in a sequence. Some days they're going to be busy and they're going to throw it away. Other days they might read the whole thing. So you need to give them the entire message every single time in a slightly different way. So, like my first letter, it's always in like a black envelope. It's for those listening and not watching. This is like a black linen envelope with like a silver Sharpie, and it feels very lumpy. So when you talk about A pile mail or B pile mail, A pile is, something from your mom or your family member or a personal letter, or Amazon package that you're definitely going to want to open. B pile is all the trash. So we're all opening our mail over the trash can. And anything that doesn't look A pile is going directly in there. So it's important that you don't have any business affiliation on the return address. So you're not going to put like my team name and my brokerage address. You want it to look personal, because everything that's required in your letter from a brokerage standpoint is in the letter anyways.
So yeah, you
And
want to go
then,
under the radar.
yeah.
You,
And
you
then you
want
don't
you
want
want to
to,
go you want to go under the radar for those that are watching. I got Dustin Fox here. We're talking about canceled and expireds because the way I look at it is people open their mail over their garbage can, and so they're looking for junk mail to throw. And you want to go under their radar. You call it your A pile. Hand addressed, right? You did bulky mail versus a flat envelope. You stood out with a big black satin envelope with hand addressed on there, and it had something bulky. People like getting gifts. They like getting things, bulky things in it. I'll get companies send me pens. They're trying to sell me pens, and they send me one for free, and it's packaged, but there's something in there. Like, all right, that's kind of cool. What's in there, right? I mean, I'm trying to break down the psychology of someone opening a letter. Correct.
correct.
So keep
Yeah,
going.
and so now that your object of your letter first is obviously to get open. That's the objective, not to get
Yep.
thrown away. So you want to have a first class stamp, no indicias, like fake stamps on there, like real stamps. And then once they've opened it, now you've caught their attention. So in this letter, for the listeners at home, in here I have a little mini Rubik's Cube. And then the start of the letter reads, Dear Mr. Lafito, this Rubik's Cube has more than 43 quintillion possible combinations. Fortunately, there are only 5 combinations you need to know when it comes to being a successful home seller. And then it goes through basically my strategy to sell a home with a really good postscript, because a lot of times people will read the beginning and then go right to the end.
Good headline. Good headline. You got the attention grabber. The hook was you tied in this free gift, which was the Rubik's Cube, with the headline and the opening sentence or two. And you probably ended with a good call to action using Dan Kennedy, PS, PPS, maybe a testimonial in there. Did you drive him to a landing page or how did you capture information? Was it just your cell phone?
No, it's just my info and my website. There are landing pages on my site that occasionally the QR codes take them to, because the missing piece for me for years was me incorporating some of the video content that I was building into the letter with QR codes. But to go back to kind of your podcast, Michael, and kind of you helping me with my limiting belief 6-7 years ago, when I started doing this, I was writing to like $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 sellers, because I was like, there's no way a luxury seller is going to get this and they're going to be upset about it. And I found it to be the exact opposite. Once I started going $1 million, 1.5, 2 million, those were the sellers that were contacting me back the most. Like these guys and women were respecting the hustle more than anyone else. And you can't do a nice gift because then it looks like you're bribing them. So I was getting all my high price listings, all of my luxury, the way you define it, of 3 to 4 times the average. All of these came from this method, and then it goes in a sequence. So I have the next letter has a magnifying glass in it. And then the beginning of the letter, you open it and the font is really small. So you have to read it with the magnifying glass to start the letter. And there's a little grabber for each one. And it really is, if you had a better stomach than me, you would be calling them in between the letters or like sending them a bomb type video. And I think if I did that, I would probably, on average, if I send 100 of these out, I'll get 3 to 5 listings. But if I was calling them in between,
how many sequences were you doing?
7 letters.
7 letters. Okay, so at my peak when I was doing cancel and expireds, I had a nanny who was watching our kids, and she would hand address them, and I'd give her each week mailers, and she would sequence them out. Mondays, I'd give her the new list. She'd send the first mailer out on Tuesday, the second on Friday, and the third, and so we had a sequence going, and we tested. Do we bang them all out right away? Do we give 2 days, 3 days? We test everything. So we were doing 7 at our peak as well. We tested 5, 7. So you did 7 mailers. So you had a Rubik's Cube. You had a magnifying glass. What else did you have?
So I have them here. Like each one, I have like the classic kind of Gary Halbert or Robert Collier $2 bill or $1 bill letter that's at the top. That one isn't lumpy, but it still catches their eye. You can see here like a $1, a crisp $1 bill, and the letter starts, "Dear Mr. Lafito, here's $1. Yes, it's a real dollar, shiny, crisp, and fresh from the bag. Why have I done this? Actually, there are 2 reasons. First, since I have something extremely important to tell you, I needed something that was going to make sure this letter would catch your attention. Secondly, since this letter concerns how you can make or save a lot of money, I thought using $1 as a little financial eye catcher was especially appropriate." Then it gets into like the strategy.
Perfect.
Other ones. This is a whistle. Blow the whistle on your old listing strategy. Revamp your home sale today. So it's a real whistle. I have this one here is a calculator. Says dial in your home sale, calculate the Fox Homes difference. Then I have. Sorry, these are just laying around for the next one.
I love it. I love it.
Now I have a stopwatch. Time is of the essence. Accelerate your home sale today. All of these things you can get in bulk, very inexpensively on Amazon.
Yes.
Next I have. Sorry for all the crinkling noise.
No, you're good.
Next I have a tape measure. It says, let us extend a personal invitation to a service that's not for everyone. As such, before you read further, we ask you to consider, does your home selling marketing strategy measure up? I mean, it's like, it's very,
So you
very
tie
cliche.
everything to the house. So let's just say 7 of these, and these little hooks on average are $2.50 each. And the actual mailer, because it's bulk with the envelope and your time, let's just say $2.50. So let's just say it's $5 a mailer. Is that about right on average?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
With postage, and the items are actually less. The postage is just more. You're typically talking 8 to 10 first class stamps, and postage is going up constantly. But the items are inexpensive. I have them on my website, 6 Weeks to Real Estate Success, on the chapter for my book. I have all the Amazon links for all of the what they call the little grabbers on there. So
All right,
it'll
so
be easier for the
let's
listener.
just say it's 10 stamps. So that's 5.50 about, and then $2. Let's just say it's $7.50. Okay. So
Mhm.
on the screen, I have here for you guys, and this is straight from one of my mentors, Dan S. Kennedy, which Dustin referenced as well. But what is a sale worth to you? So personally, in your market, for you personally, and I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, but what's your average sale price for you or your team?
Our team's average sale price is 650, but
Okay.
we're selling all
Okay,
price ranges.
so let's just say 650. I'm not saying any commission is normal, right? Commissions are all negotiable. The Department of Justice, we're not talking about price fixing. There's no Sherman antitrust. So, but let's just say if you know what the average sale price for you is, it's 650. Whether you're charging 1 or 2%, whatever. Let's just say 2 for the sake of this example. That's 13,000 in gross commissions, and you're spending $7.50 times 7, so about $52. And so if you $52 and you send out 100 of these on average, you tell me 100 times 52, doing the math real quick, that's $5,000, $5,200. And if you just get one sale out of that, you're already 2-to-1 ROI. If you
Hmm.
get 2 sales, you're 4-to-1. Now this is just based on the average. You might get $1 million, you might get a 500. So again, guys, this is where it comes down to what to listeners, what is a sale worth to you? What is it worth to your bottom line? You need to know your numbers. And so Dustin knows his numbers, so he's willing to cheerfully outspend his competitors. Okay, that's what Dan S. Kennedy taught me. What is a sale worth to you, and what are you willing to cheerfully outspend your competition? And so whether it be billboards, I got a billboard in my market, whether it be sending things in the mail, I don't have one behind me, but giving Lamborghini wine as closing gifts. What is a sale worth to you, and what will you cheerfully invest to outspend your competition? So Dustin shared just on this 7 sequence, he's probably spending $50 a sequence, but he's also he started to do 5 to 800,000. Then he said, wow, Mike, I listened to you. I realized I can do more. And he was doing $1 million and $2 million. I would send out the silver platter. I'd send out shredded money. I send out bank bags, literally. Here's an example of a bank bag. I would send a bank bag in the mail with shredded money, and it would be, why am I sending you a bank bag? Same thing. I needed a way to get your attention, and what I sharing with you, you're able to take more to the bank when you sell. And so same concept, right? So I know my competition wasn't doing it. You got all these companies calling on canceled and expired. Very few are doing, the direct mail stuff. So canceled and expireds are really big. I think I referenced to you. I used RedX. So RedX was something that I used. I'm a big fan of RedX. I'll show you right now for those of you who are watching. If you're interested, you can scan this QR code. These are my friends over at RedX. You can scan that, and I'll get that off there. You can scan to sign up, go to RedX, and they'll waive $150 in fees. Real estate data exchange, you mentioned Vulcan, they have dialers. I've been a RedX fan. There's other ones out there, but you can reach out to me and find out more information if you're listening to this. So you and I are from the same mold. And I literally would send out this, and I'd get people complain or whatever. I had one $5 million listing because of this right here. They said, you know what, you were creative, you're outside the box, whatever. So how you're getting this data and you're sending some mailers, and that's something. Are you still currently doing that, or was that a strategy you used to do?
No, I haven't needed to do that. But sometimes, as some of the best ways to learn things or remind yourself is to teach them. And I've taught my agents, because I don't need to do that anymore. We have
Yeah.
enough past client referral coming in, but I try to teach my team of agents to do it, and they're not doing it. I've put it in my book. I've laid out the entire strategy. And the team now is saying, "Oh my God, like, why are you sharing this? People are going to know." I'm like, "You guys haven't even been doing it. Like,
Yeah.
all the information is available to everybody if they want to find out. They just have to do the work."
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great point. So these items can be found in your book, 6 Weeks to Real Estate Success. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's talk about Hyperlocal. Google,
Okay.
YouTube, right? The two most popular search engines is Google and YouTube, and so you're talking about YouTube marketing here. And so tell us a little bit about your philosophy, A, on video, and B, then we'll go right into how to create hyperlocal ads through YouTube and videos.
So I was always big on advertising. Number one, our team's unique selling proposition to all of our sellers, it means more to the luxury ones than it does the lower price, but everyone's going to get them between 2 and 10,000 views between Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor. We call that, of course, marketing. Anybody that puts you in the MLS is going to get you that. We're going to get you 100,000 views of your listing. In our market, we're allowed 21 days coming soon. Most markets are not, but we do that just in the 21 days coming soon. So for 8 years, I was running Facebook and Instagram ads. And over 8 years, I may have had 1 to 5 people ever screenshot one of my ads or videos that they saw on Facebook and Instagram and text me and say, "Hey, I saw this." Because when they're your friends, they see it on their wall and they just think it's a post. They're not putting it together that's an ad. But the impact that it will have for your business when people start seeing your videos on their TV screens. I have a whole list. I have a whole folder on my phone of people just texting me like I'm a celebrity. Like, "Oh my God, they're having their kids take a photo in front of the TV, like pointing at me." So the impact on the consumer, not just in your database, but the people that don't know you, it's hard to I can't overstate it. It's
So you're
impossible.
talking about what I hear you're saying is, YouTube isn't just for your smartphone and your desktop and laptop anymore. Many people with YouTube video or whatever, they are literally sometimes seeing your ads when they're in their family room watching a video on YouTube TV.
Correct. And if you leave on all devices, and in my book, there's a whole chapter on YouTube ads. The way that I wrote the book is you read this chapter, then there's a video series. There's nothing charged for it at the end of each one. You just follow it, and you're going to be able to run these yourself. But if you leave on all devices, it'll allow you to choose like tablet, phone, TV. If you leave on all, on average, the TV views are about 60 to 70%. And I leave all of them on. But the power of it is on Facebook and Instagram, as all of our listeners know, Facebook and Instagram, because of the lawsuit years ago, they're only allowing like a 15-mile radius. They kind of overdid it. But Google is still allowing you to target a specific market. So the power for you is if you have a videographer or you're making content on your own, is every video you should be sending to your audience, even if it's outside the city that you're trying to farm. But every month you should be doing a market update for specific to that city. You should be doing anything on that city, any content you specific on that city. I leave those unlisted on my YouTube page because I don't want somebody going onto my YouTube page and think that I'm just this one city specific realtor when I'm covering a wide area. So those are unlisted, but I'm still running ads to my market.
Interesting. Okay, good. Well, in a short amount of time, we probably can't cover how to run ads to your market, but did you discover this on your own? Was there a service that kind of helped you? Did you have a mentor, coach, or somebody that done for you once you started this?
No, it was just like looking on YouTube and following the tutorials. They were almost everything was outside the realtor industry, but you can still do. You can't do age for fair housing reasons, but you can do income, and you can't do zip code. So you can go city specific, but not zip code. So if you're like in Chicago, you're not going to run it to all of Chicago. That would
Sure.
be too scattered and diffused.
Right.
But I'm lucky that I'm in a suburb of like 50,000 people, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nobody teaching me.
No, that's great. That's great. We got those of you that are listening. We got Dustin Fox here. We were talking a little bit about canceled and expireds and luxury leads, and while some people call, Dustin had success with mailing them and understanding what a sale is worth to him. And so he did bulky mail, right? And so those of you that are just joining, he would send stuff in a unique envelope, handwritten, put a live stamp on there. Don't run it through a postage meter. You got to think of a skeptical person that's getting bombarded with calls and general emails too, and text, but also in the mail. I want to list your home. I want to list your home. And Dustin, and my suggestion is it's not about listing their home. It's about marketing and hitting on those pain points. What are the pain points? What keeps a canceled and expired homeowner awake at night? What keeps them awake at night? Why isn't my home selling? Why did I hire the last agent? Like, they overpromised, underdelivered. I only heard from them when it was to lower the price. I never heard from them. All the above. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, no, I completely agree with you. I can say, knock on wood, all my time in, and it's eventually may happen. I have yet to have a client fire me because we do what we promise. We over deliver on everything we do. And the way that we do that, when I mentioned like the 100,000 views, every single week, every agent on our team gets a PDF that they provide to their client for every listing that shows the stats from the ads, the ad copy, and all the views. We give them all to them transparently. And they probably could care less, but it's a promise delivered. We give it to them, and for them to see it, and we judge our advertising when their neighbor comes over to tells them, "Oh my God, I saw your home on a TV commercial." Can you imagine the impact? That seller is never firing you.
Wow, that's impactful. And maybe Dustin will have you back on, and we could just focus on that, and you could do a tutorial on that for our audience if you don't mind.
No, of course.
Well, you've been a plethora of information. Again, for those of you that are driving that can't see, 6 Weeks to Real Estate Success, Dustin Fox. Where can they find your book?
On Amazon, 6 Weeks to Real Estate Success. But before we go and wrap up anything, I just want to thank you again, Michael, for everything that you've provided the community and changing people's mindsets about luxury listings, because it definitely helped us. And I want to encourage the listeners, like in the book has the first, the Rubik's Cube letter. It's there for everybody. It's on my website as well. You don't have to buy the book to get it. 6 Weeks to realestatesuccess.com. But if you buy, there's a 3-part thing here. I'll give you all 7 letters if you leave Michael's podcast a review on iTunes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So you got to leave him a review, screenshot that, leave his book a review, and buy my book, leave him a review. I'm going to send you all 7 letters. So you're going to get everything.
Awesome. That's amazing. So Dustin Fox, if you do a screenshot of leaving my book a review and our podcast a review, as well as his book a review, and you send him all 3 screenshots, he'll share with you those 7 letters that he referenced. That is amazing. Thank you for that. And I'll make sure I leave you a review. I would be not practicing what I preach if I didn't leave you a review. And same thing, if you haven't listened to our or left our podcast a review, Dustin, I would do the same thing. Guys, I can't stress this enough. When you're trying to manage clients' expectations, when you're communicating with them, you want to over deliver, but same thing, you cannot ask somebody to leave you a review if you won't do the same for them. Or, so if you're doing a good job for somebody, make sure you ask for the review. But I look at the review process as my Jaguar. I turned in my Jaguar a week ago. I got a new car. I'm really excited about it. It's got a really cool exhaust system. It's got the Ferrari engine, the Maserati. But when I was with my Jaguar dealership, we had some computer issues. They couldn't figure it out. They gave me a loaner. And what he told me, Dustin, was he said, hey, listen, it could be a week, 2 weeks before we get your car back, but you're going to get, when you do get your car back, you're going to get a third party company. They're going to call and see, how was I as your service manager? And again, if getting a 5-star review we need a 5-star review. So I'll check in with you. If we're not at a 5-star, let me know, but we need that 5-star review. He like hammered it home, broken record technique. It was almost over the top. And so he would check in once in a while and say, hey, how are we doing? Just checking in. Hey, are we still at a 5-star? If you had to give us a review today. And so guess what? I go there, pick up my car, and a couple things. A, it wasn't vacuumed. B, it wasn't clean. Now that was standard for any time they took your car. That was standard. So I gave my guy a call and I just said, hey man, I know a 5-star review is really important to you. I'm not going to not leave you a 5-star review, but just so you know, you really stressed it. And then when I got the car, it wasn't even vacuumed. It still smelled a little bit from like the shop smell because the windows had been open and you didn't even clean it. He said, oh, thank you. But that was a great lesson for me, is for those of you that are listening, if you want more 5-star Google reviews, or in this case, if you give Dustin a 5-star review on his book and my book and the podcast, like that's a great example for you when you're checking in with your buyers or your sellers. Let them know that you'll ask for a review and your goal is to get a 5-star, but you got to earn it. And so I'll check in with you throughout the transaction and just checking in to make sure we're still at a 5. Because if there's some turbulence in a transaction, and there usually always is, if you've been communicating with them throughout the way, even if there's some turbulence, you'll still earn that 5-star. Is that fair to say, Dustin?
100%. I mean, I don't know if it was Les Schwab, the Tire King, or Charlie Munger that said, like, you show me the problem, you're not looking at the incentive enough. And our team, I think we might lead the entire country in reviews. We have like 1,600 5-star reviews on Google.
Wow.
So we have a whole collection of team members that are all focused on the same thing. And I think agents aren't typically looking at reviews enough in their business, because they think, oh, I'm 5-star and I have 50. Well, so does like 1,000 other agents, and there's no differentiation. So you have to figure out points of differentiation in all aspects of your business.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I like case studies and above and beyond just reviews, right? So a case study is breaking down, like if you're talking about a canceled and expired, like one of the things we do here, let me see if I have one. Yep. One of the things that we do here, Dustin, is we have a series. Oh, look at this too. I got some direct mail secrets here, man. Oh, here, look at this. I got a treasure trove of stuff that you weren't even thinking about. So the first thing is, this was my silver platter mailer that I would include with the silver platter, serving you a higher selling price, VIP service, and expedited sale on a silver platter. And so I would drive them to a URL, which now is used, but it was Lux Redefined. Now that's my blog, but I'd have pictures because I did video. So I'd talk about how we do video, and I'd have those URLs as examples. I'd have testimonials, the silver platter. The other thing, this thing is yellow because it's from the archives. This thing is amazing. This is called a tear sheet, Dustin. Have you ever heard of a tear sheet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
A tear sheet is something that looks like an editorial, but it's an advertorial. In other words, it's an advertisement. It looks like it's straight out of a newspaper. It's ripped out. There's a yellow sticky note on there. This sounds like your situation, doesn't it? J. Why the letter J? Well, people know John, Joan, just like P for Pat, Paul. And so this guy helped out a friend of mine, it says, and it's basically an advertisement of how nationally acclaimed realtor and author unveils secret 201-point marketing plan to sell any home in 39 days, guaranteed, even in this market. This newspaper is yellow. It's been so long since I've used these. Like you, I used to do weekly mailers, but this is a case study testimonial. This is a case study where you're breaking down how you help them, and so Polaroids or Canva images where it sat on the market 362 days with another agent, sold in 39 days with us. Failed to sell with 4 other agents, sold in 36 days with us. So those are pain points. Don't just describe the problem, talk about the solution and how you help them. So I hope this was helpful to our listeners. Dustin, this is right up my alley. My good friends at Red X.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. I mean, look, you probably don't need to do that stuff anymore. And just talking about it gets your juices flowing again.
Oh, it's fun, man. I love doing it. It was a blast. I'd get people leaving me voicemails because the other thing, I would do some thrashing of their sheets. I would throw their old MLS sheet in there and circle this. And I'd grade it like my old high school health teacher, like I was a health teacher, 7 out of 10. I know why your home didn't sell. Call me. I get people say, you know why my home didn't sell? I know why. And they'd be yelling. And sometimes they'd throw some cuss words at me. So anyways, let's continue to keep our conversation going offline. Dustin Fox, check it out. 6 weeks to realestatesuccess.com. I appreciate you today.
Yes, Michael. Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you. Again, for more information on our upcoming book, you can go to secretsofTopLuxuryAgents.com. Keep raising the bar in the industry. Treat people well. Don't slam doors. I guarantee you, there were probably some sellers along his career that Dustin, they didn't hire him the first time around, and he stuck around. He didn't slam the door, and they called him a second time. I call those boomerang clients. They eventually come back around to you. We've sold a lot of homes that for whatever reason, they didn't hire us the first time. They went with a cheaper agent, a friend, whatever. Maybe that person overpromised, underdelivered. So be consistent. Treat people with respect. Don't tell people what they want to hear. Okay. I don't need to practice. I'm going to be honest with people in a tactful way, but they're coming to us, the specialist. They have a joint pain, a knee pain, a joint pain. I am that doctor that knows how to get rid of that pain. And if you think that way, like a doctor, and then you're going to be honest with them and you're going to tell them, I'm going to tell you exactly what we need to do to get you out of here without limping. Now, you might read somewhere else on the internet or somebody somewhere else that thinks they know, but this is what we specialize in. So don't think like a real estate agent. Think like a marketer. With that being said, my name is Michael LaFido. This has been hopefully you think it's a great episode. I thought it was a great episode. Another episode of Luxury Specialist. Until next time, peace, and go to Secret to Top Luxury Agents. Get on the waiting list and go to Luxury Listing Blueprint. Go to Luxury Listing Blueprint for your free 7 secrets to break into luxury with no marketing budget. Until next time, take care, everybody.